we can create green lights tomorrow for us by our choices today. So this idea that sometimes we say it's a responsibility and freedom are a contradiction, which they're not. There's a responsibility to freedom, and there's a freedom in responsibility.
Yes.
I mean, delayed gratification is what I'm talking. I'm a big fan of. I love teeing myself up, being cool to my future self. Whether it's the simple thing of putting the coffee in the damn filter tonight or tomorrow morning when I'm groggy, all I got to do is push the button. And I go, nice play, McConaughey. Way to be cool. You know,
I'm obsessed.
Big.
Because I'm obsessed with the journey. I like the game way more than the fucking trophy.
The trophy doesn't really exist, though.
No shit.
You know, we're just achieving on the way to unachievable the whole way is the way I see it. I mean,
one of the reasons I bring up the death of very iconic people, Prince, I use a lot, others, is I try to use that to paint a picture to people of like, you can have a trillion trophies and then it's just all over. Like you get 24 hours in social media, you get a little hashtag trend, people play their favorite clip, they quote a couple of your favorite things, and literally it's a week later and everyone's fucking on their life. So what the fuck are you chasing the trophy for?
The result, process.
29 is a fucked up age because everyone's like, 30 and it's all. Society has made a huge mistake in the way that we've taught people about age. I mean, I'm interacting with 63-year-olds that are just realizing that they're leaving corporate America and starting their own business and they've never been more alive. And they're 63 and healthy and vibrant and acting like they're 42 from a generation earlier because we're all younger, we're eating better, we're taking care of ourselves more. The only mistake you can make is beating yourself up. You've got everything. Should you do more woodwork? Maybe. Yeah. Should you learn more about virtual events? Maybe. Do I think virtual events are going to be huge forever? Yes, I do. And I think you should double down on that. But the number one thing you need to do is enjoy this pregnancy because it's extremely special, and woodwork and production and business and fucking money, it will all be there.
Okay.
Enjoy it. Don't beat yourself up. It's not the time to be stressed.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a roller coaster.
It's always, it could also, listen, everyone's like, it's a roller coaster. It's so intense. Cool. Let's all role play. In 2 years from now, COVID's all set. We're back to normal. Mm-hmm. And then your best friend dies of cancer. And then your government has an election and goes to fascism. And then your partner dies of a heart attack. And then your child gets diagnosed with a disease. Life is always.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know that if COVID started 3 months earlier, Kobe Bryant would be alive?
Yeah.
Life was super fine in January in America. If COVID started in December, Kobe wouldn't be in that helicopter. He'd be alive for another 60 years. Life is unpredictable.
It is.
So do you know how many people's lives were saved by COVID because their destiny was to be on a highway and get into an accident that night, but they were stuck at home complaining that they're bored?
Wow.
Yeah. People don't understand life.
Yeah.
We need a better perspective. You are so lucky. You're lucky. Do you know how many women right now are crying every day in their sleep because they can't get pregnant?
Yes. I mean, I've thought about that every day. I mean,
I believe you. I'm not saying you don't. I'm talking to the audience right now. Like, be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you have instead of stressed about what isn't going well. Every day I have thousands of things, hundreds of things, tens of things not going well. I run a huge company. There's unlimited things going on. I have a big personality. There's always hate being thrown at. Like, I can't dwell on that. I have to be too grateful for the health of the people I love. The end. Gratitude is the formula.
It is.
So one long-winded answer for the right answer for you is don't beat yourself up. You are clearly a fortunate person with the right ingredients to figure it out.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy this. Figure out how to enjoy this.
It'll help me,
bro,
push myself to go help you guys.
Hear me real quick. It can't be about you.
Yeah, true.
Flip it.
Listen.
I'm listening to you, Sean. You said, hey, follow me so I can be more motivated to go harder. You're making it selfish. You want to grow? Be selfless.
Selfless, okay, yeah.
This is where everyone gets caught. This is why you may win the flip game, but you will not win the social media content game because I'm listening to you. I'm listening. I'm trying to help you right now. This isn't about come follow me, make my self-esteem up at 1,000, I can flex. Yeah. This is about how do I bring them the most value? This tea with Gary Vee for this hour, do you know what kind of money I could be making or doing things that I need to be doing in this hour? This isn't about watch my show. When I say share, I'm not looking for more fucking followers. I'm looking to impact more people's lives so that the Sean stumbles upon me and goes from $50 in his bank account to $10K a fucking month.
Yeah, kind of. I was asking you about branding.
Well, here's branding. It's about what I just said to Sean earlier. It's about them, not you. It's about listening. You know, everyone's so confused. I interrupt people, this and that. They're like, yo, he's talking fucking loud. I'd love to hear your fucking own voice. No, I don't. Fucking listen 24 hours a day, and then once in a while have a moment to talk. I'm fucking listening 24 hours a day, Sean. I'm reading more comments, more DMs, more emails, more texts from my community than any fucker on earth. I'm so busy that I'm not replying like I used to, but I haven't stopped listening at all. I'm fucking hearing you. It's how I bring up my content. It's how it goes. Branding and marketing is about the customer, not about your selfish wants and needs. That's why Fortune 500 companies struggle. That's why VaynerMedia has helped them so much. And that's why so many influencers suck. And that's why I'm helping them so much. And that's what you need to focus on.
How do you suggest I document and not create with my life feels like kind of boring though?
Everybody's life is boring.
Yeah? So what do you suggest?
Just fucking do it.
All right.
I want to, this is not a joke. Yeah. I want to know where you bought that.
Okay.
I want to know where you bought that champion.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Downtown.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I got it.
Everything's interesting.
Yeah. All right.
We're all interesting to each other. We're not interesting to ourselves.
Okay.
Look, this entire evening is why I'm emotional. You guys, so many of you are keeping a secret inside that's just insecurities that your mom gave you or your dad gave you or your older sibling gave you. A lot of you are sitting with them. Half of you are sitting with them. I met you tonight. The fact that I know that if you made a video right now and just told your truth, if you just took fucking Instagram right now, flipped it, and said it, it would change your fucking life. Your poison is your secret. You can't imagine what your secret's doing to you. You want a little airport Gary Iris? I mean, it's only half airport Gary Iris, but I already got the beanie, but I can switch to a different beanie.
I have your other one.
That's okay. All right, so I'm gonna give it to you. Here we go. Number one. Guys, fucking intensity, Toronto. I fucking love your city so fucking much. I just love this fucking city. And I just want everybody to know, when you're putting out good shit comes back. Shit's so basic. Please allow me to be the permission for you to try to live your life the way you want to. Please allow me that amazing gift. If you don't do it for me, do it for Airport Gary. See ya. For you, your passion is the movie. Here's what I would say. I would build a community. I would, if I'm you, I would network like crazy. I would join a ton of Facebook groups. I would start a bunch of Instagram accounts. I would comment on people's YouTube. I would do a ton of homework on who's winning in Hollywood and New York and start DMing them and offer to be an intern. I would lean into humility and patience and work ethic to build a community. To then leverage to bring exposure to when that film is out. But let me tell you the biggest thing I've learned kind of spending time in Hollywood over the last 5 years, kind of paying attention. Movie marketing is garbage. People are really bad at marketing movies. Really bad at it. They do not use the modern platforms. And so, listen, my game is very simple. Whether you're trying to cure Crohn's disease or whether you're trying to raise money for the PTA or whether you're trying to help one 16-year-old girl who's on the verge of making tough decisions, I believe that the internet is the most powerful medium to reach people. And I think whatever sites or apps are winning on top of the internet at the moment, whether that's podcast or YouTube, whether that's TikTok or LinkedIn, being a storyteller within all those platforms matters. I'll give you an example. It's about creativity. One thing I would do if I was writing a movie, I would probably start an account of the lead character in that film 2 years before the film came, as you're writing the story. and we create a character named Benjamin Thompson, I would literally create an Instagram account for Benjamin Thompson. Find some artist like the one I just had on, on social media, and literally DM like 50 artists and be like, hey, if you create this character with me and do all the drawings and the comic strip or the pictures or whatever, when I make my movie, I'll give you a 0.05% of the back end if it ever takes, like, just being creative, just being thoughtful, like, and God forbid that Instagram account gets a little traction, it leads to a narrative when the film comes out. Like, so there's just a lot of creative ways to do shit. The bottom line though is, and it's so obvious to me, brother, this is a game of patience and putting in the work. Like, when you're an aspiring, filmmaker, you dream every day. It's in your soul for you to have your breakout film. You watch the fucking Oscars and you see highlight and you're like, that's gonna be, you see a break, you know what I mean? Like, I get it, but like the reality is it takes a lot of grinding time. A lot.
Yeah, I mean, the only luxury we have is time, right?
Yeah, and then other people will be like, time is fleeting and you never know, and I get all that, but like the reality is, whether you think we have a ton of time or no time, whichever one you believe in, I can promise you this, the fucking hard work is the cost of entry. You either have such extreme God-given talent that the first thing you write pops off on some Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck shit, right? Or you're like the 99% and you put in the fucking 2 decades and then your moment comes. Take it from a 44-year-old who's twice your age. If I told you right now, you have to put in 22 years of grinding, but at 44 you hit, you would fucking rip your arm off for that opportunity. Yet when you're 22, that sounds like the worst.
Yeah, it does. It sounds so far away, but that's what it takes, right?
It definitely is normally a foundational piece of the required way to get there. But here's my thing. Being a filmmaker that is commercially successful enough to live your life is such a lottery ticket, it should be hard. I keep reminding all my friends and youngsters and this community, it's like, wait a minute, so let me get this straight. You want to be a millionaire? Less than a 1% of 1% kind of life? Shouldn't that be hard? Shouldn't that take a long time? Shouldn't it be really difficult?
Right.
Like shouldn't that require enormous amounts of time? Shouldn't that be a process? I'm always trying to get people to understand what they're actually asking for. Are you out of your mind? There's only so many filmmakers in the world. You want to live that life? Cool. But of course it should be fucking bleeding out of your eyeballs. Of course there should be unlimited roadblocks. Of course this should be hard.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to start a YouTube channel for a while now of this kind of content. And I actually had the channel for a while and didn't really do anything with it, and just was hard to, I just didn't prioritize it enough. And so basically my question is more or less, this channel, there's a lot of music channels out there, a lot of drum lessons, things like that. This stuff is,
but there's no Danny YouTube channel.
Right, exactly. And I think part of it is that this stuff's kind of weird.
Yeah, the end.
Mm-hmm.
There's an ungodly amount of content in every genre. There's unlimited people that talk about mindset and business stuff like me. There's unlimited people that do wine content. There's unlimited everything. There's nobody's making up anything new. The only
very true.
The only new or unique thing is the human behind it. Insecurity.
Yeah. But I think that's the key, because I've been insecure, like, why isn't it working, everything that I'm creating? So I come down.
Because you're impatient. I produced content for 11 hours a day for 3 years before anybody cared. Did you do that?
No.
Okay. Well, there's one reason. Maybe the other reason is because you're overthinking your shit and not putting out your truth.
Yeah.
Yesterday, a good piece of content is what your favorite Halloween candy is. Somebody might just think that you're human, and that's good. Everyone here, I'm looking at all these beautiful faces. Overthinking shit. Overthinking shit. This is a volume game.
Yeah.
There's no right.
Yeah.
There's no right for you at that exact second.
Yeah. Yeah. Just scared, like with the Instagram, with the algorithm and everything, that it's like,
Fuck the
like
algorithm.
what you doing, just spamming. So it's like the feeling that I get. That
You're not
Instagram even-
Jennifer, you're not spamming. Nobody's seeing your shit. You just told me you stopped when less people saw it. Now you're telling me you're spamming. That's a fucking contradiction.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's making content for themselves. You're trying to make content so it leads to customers.
Yeah.
When you make
Yeah, to create a community as well, yeah.
No, not build a community. Only. The only way you're going to sell something eventually is if you actually build a community. The only way you can build a community is bring value to others. Everybody's so selfish. That's why it doesn't work. By the way, it's okay to be selfish. Literally do not look down on anyone who's trying to build something for themselves. But when you're trying to build something for yourself, there's somebody on the other side of this.
Yeah.
You're not here to pay money to everybody else. You're here to get value for you. You're going to pay something that brings you go watch a movie that you want to watch. You go buy a bottle of wine or a pair of sneakers or that you want to drink, that you want to wear.
Yeah.
Everyone's just thinking about what they're going to get for it. And then they get spooked about the algorithm. The algorithm is not your problem. Your problem is your mindset if you're bringing value to people. If you're thinking this is going to lead to a sale, it's already over before you started. I don't give a fuck about the algorithm. Awesome. Good luck, Jennifer.
Thank you.
But I'm trying to figure out ways to actually get out there.
I think one of the things that I would do if I were you is I would call everybody. I would do these two things. I would call, literally email and set up a call with everybody who has bought something from you and ask them why they bought. And then I would make videos on your Instagram right now asking people, have they gone to your website and why did they buy, and ask them to comment.
Okay.
Consumers always have the answers.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Steph. Let's keep moving. What we just told Stephanie is it's something a lot of you have to ask more. You have to ask why more. You have to ask the audience, like for real.
So I'm an aspiring singer, and like, but the thing about me is I like comedy. So I have a parody page with my friend, and then I have my own channel, and I'm trying to grow both.
Okay.
But like, I don't know how to balance the two, if that makes sense.
By not judging yourself.
Okay.
I've just
literally, I don't know which one I want more.
You want one more every day. One day you want this one more, the next day you want that one more. For 90 days, I was super hot building my dad's wine techs for him because I wanted to and I wanted to help him. And the next day I changed my mind and focused on sports cards. And then, as a lot of people know, I haven't said a thing about sports cards for 5 weeks because right now I'm focused on VaynerX. You're judging yourself. You don't need to know which one you want more. You want them both. And every day, it's like fucking eating cereal, bro. Sometimes you want Lucky Charms. Sometimes you want fucking, Captain Crunch. Everyone fucking overthinks this shit, Sean.
That's true.
Like what? Like what? You want them both.
Yeah, I wanted to say something else too.
Go ahead.
So I've been dealing with like a lot lately with Corona. I'm sure, like, of course, like there's just a lot of stress and stuff.
Yep.
And like my dad's been going through a lot of hard times. He's been battling alcohol abuse, and like it's just like I feel suffocated sometimes by like the negativity, and like try not to like get emotional about this, but like it's just hard to like continue to put out the stuff that I want to do when like I see him in such a place of pain and like suffering.
I understand that. A couple things. There's two ways. It's kind of almost similar to the last part of like having two different accounts. It's okay for 3 days for you to be just so concerned about your dad and not have the energy to go do. And it's equally okay on Thursday of that week to pump out shit like crazy. Like it's like everything's okay. Like everything's okay. Like every feeling's allowed. You're allowed to fight through and choose to see optimism. You're also allowed to have compassion and sympathy for your dad and have remorse and some sadness. People overjudge themselves, Sean. And when I look at everybody here right now and I'm clicking through the all the faces here, I don't know. I will say this until the day I die. I don't understand why people judge things in such short periods of time. This too.
It's just like, I just recently dropped out of school, and like that too kind of added into his stress. So it's just like these factors. It's like I'm in my own head in a way, you know? Like,
brother, every single person in this video is in their own head. Like we're all in our own head. Yeah. That's where life is actually lived. The body's just the fucking manifestation of what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
Like COVID is exposed so much. Of course you're in your head. That's good. What you need to do is take a breath.
Yeah.
You're a kid.
Yeah.
Your dad's ideology of you going to be okay because of school is going to work itself out.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that means a lot.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's just take a breath. Like, we're so fortunate to be alive. Like, do you know how anxious half the country is going to be in 2 days? In 2 days, half our entire country on one side or the other is going to be on complete tilt for weeks in deep anxiety, one way or the other. Like, it's okay. Life, it happens.
Yeah.
You know, like, you have to stop judging yourself. You've got 80 more years of life, Sean. 80.
Yeah. It's just like, I want my dad, you know, to be good. I don't want to be selfish, you know? I don't want to.
I get, well, then, you know, then pound your dad with positivity.
I know, but that's the thing. Like, that's the reason I feel like he's in this place, is that his parents kind of instilled this negative mindset in him.
My dad too. My dad's mom instilled nothing but negativity into him. I've been spending 30 years pounding positivity into my dad's brain.
Okay.
You can't, I mean, life is very simple, everyone. You can either dwell about the circumstance or you can go on the offense. You can dwell like I do in the micro at times about what my grandma did to my dad, or you can go on the offense like I do 99% of the time. You just got to make sure that that ratio is in a healthy place.
Yeah.
There is no time machine. You can't go back into time and correct how your grandparents, you know, parented your dad. What you need to do is you need to separate from your dad when he's dragging you down and put positivity in your ears. And then when you're filled up, you need to go back on the offense on your dad and try to pound it into him. And then when you're drained and he starts dragging you down, you need to go back to the well of positivity and put in your ears. That's all I'm basically doing for the world. All I'm basically doing every day, Sean, is putting out practical and positive content to allow people to fill up so that they can go back into their real lives and do something with it. That's all I'm really doing. I'm basically doing for this world what I did for my dad. Because there is nothing else. I don't give a fuck what anybody says right now. Everything is how you're going to look at it.
Yeah.
That's life. Life is how you see it. Period.
Yeah.
You have to surround yourself with positivity so that you can be full and good, so that you can go and give love to somebody you love, like your dad. And then you dump out some of that positivity and you come back to, I mean, it's just fucking, that's the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to focus on that. It's just.
That's the only practical thing you can focus on.
Yeah.
You can't rewire your dad's DNA and upbringing. You can just pound him with facts of positivity, perspective, encourage him to take therapy, all those things.
He is. Yeah. He's in the process. He's just like, it's a healing phase. So it's just, obviously he's having withdrawal and all these things. So it's just like really hard for me to look, you know, see him go through this stuff.
Of course you love him. I get it. I lived it. I live it. But you have no choice. Everything's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, like you could have had your arm chopped off with a lawnmower accident, like some kid I know. You could have.
Yeah.
You could have gotten hit by a fucking tree. You could have. You could have. COVID could have not happened, and you might have been in a car instead of in a house because the world was normal, and you might have got into a car accident and died. That could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad could have died 9 years ago of cancer. That could have happened. I think people get into this mindset like they have it so bad, they have no context of the world. There's people in cages in America, let alone the rest of the world right now. We have no gratitude. You have to use gratitude as your offset for your concerns.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I totally understand. All right.
Good luck. Sean, what I said earlier is the truth. Like, the number one reason everybody here is here right now on this Zoom is the number one reason 99% of people here are not getting what they want. Let me explain. 99% of people are here right now because I bring them value. I bring you value. Insights, inspiration, a different look at something, clarity. You think I'm funny? I don't fucking know. I bring you value. That's why you right now have chosen to give this time. Most people on here are trying to get the same, but are trying to take, not give. Mm-hmm. It's not complicated. Share your story. Share your dark secrets that might help somebody. Share a tip. Like people are really struggling to give. Everyone here is so worried about how to get their content to bring them what they want. They forget that the audience on the other side is the whole punchline. I'm obsessed. Literally think about the meta of this. I realized I had a little bit of time and I'm like, you know what? I know tensions are high because the election. I know it's like rainy. I'm in a lot of places in America. I'm like, why don't I just give some good value for 20, 30 minutes? Like, that'll be nice. Yeah. That'll be good. Like, I got plenty of shit. I got plenty of shit to do during this time, but like, how do I bring value? Shout out to Jaden Leon. Looks like Trevor Lawrence in his jet shirt. Got me excited. Anyway, please bring value.
I will. Thank you so much, Gary.
You're welcome, brother. It's like I say to a lot of my friends, it's hard to be hungry when you're always fed. And I think the comp I'm making here is I think a lot of well-to-do families struggle with finding the balance for their children to create motivation and to create reality because they live in cocoons. I think about that in the business world as well, sometimes in leaderships. Thoughts?
Jackie Kennedy famously said that if you mess up raising your children, nothing else in life matters. And the truth is, in hindsight, when you grow up in a relatively modest background, there's a big advantage. You realize you have to learn skills yourself and you're going to make it on your own or you're not going to make it.
Correct.
You get to be very wealthy and you try to raise children. It's very, very difficult.
Correct.
I would say, if you look at the children of extremely wealthy families, they tend to have some challenges. Nobody in the Forbes 400 was raised by somebody who was also in the Forbes 400. If you're very, very wealthy, you're not likely to produce a child who's also going to be so hungry that he or she is going to go out and make a couple $2 billion. It just doesn't happen. So that you just have to accept that. So in hindsight, your upbringing and my upbringing were big advantages to us because if you have the loving attention of your parents and their willingness to support you, what more do you really need? If you're very, very wealthy and you just throw money at your kids, they're not likely to be that successful, in my view. Sometimes people overpay people, and the result is not what you want. It's the reverse of what you want. People get fat and happy, and they think they're great when they really should be improving.
Listen, let me tell you one thing that you will not hear often. The person that knows how to eat the most amount of shit usually eats the most amount of caviar. Got it? You need to eat shit, get to the next spot. Not directly, but you understand? If it's good like that and that can get you to the next spot, that's perfect, regardless of what it is. Whatever gets you to the next spot is exactly, move forward. It's good, man. I'm glad if you have something like that brewing, that excites me. That's real easy for me to see how it can go for you. You just gotta be patient. That's where you gotta stay disciplined and save that money and not buy all the stuff that's getting fed to you that you need. It's hard to get to the next spot when you spend $700 to buy a Supreme bag. See, my biggest advantage is I'm dirty. I'm dirty. I don't give a fuck what people think. Do you know how many people, when I put out these garage sale videos, my homies in Silicon Valley and Hollywood and Wall Street, like players are DMing me shit. Like half of them are like, this is the best shit I've ever seen. But half of them are like, yo, you're making yourself look stupid. I'm like, to who? To you? Fuck you. I'm serious. To what? You're judging me? You're a fucking idiot. I think it's stupid that you're golfing for 9 hours. AJ, I know you love golf myself. So like, you know, like, I don't want to golf. Fuck you, Malibu Don, you're surfing. I can't surf. Fuck that shit, it's stupid. I don't want to waste 4 hours trying to surf. I want to go to somebody's fucking garage, like I did a couple months ago, and buy a bunch of Olympic pins for $20 and flip them on eBay for 4,000. Do you know what it feels like to be 26 years old, have people that you went to high school with come to your liquor store, look you dead in the face as they pulled up in their BMW and say, oh, you work for your dad? And then you ring them up on their case of champagne that they're gonna use for their party, and you bring it out to their car and put it in their trunk, and they look you in the face with pity? I lived that life. And the way I took that scene was, I'll see you in 10 years, motherfucker. That's how. The biggest thing I want for everybody in this room is to taste shit. Like, do random shit. Like, go skateboard, go cook, go try Flip Life, go fucking put out a fucking song. Like, I don't fucking know, like, taste shit. Like, in your 20s, you gotta taste. You know, and that's the biggest mistake that people, you know, like, make. They're trying to, like, figure out, everybody's got so much pressure to, like, have it figured out when they come out of school. Like, it's time to be real and real life and all that shit. It's fucking stupid. 22 to 30 should be experimenting, fucking travel. If you, like, and people are like, well, I don't have money. I'm like, you can still travel. You can get a bullshit fucking plane ticket. You can take a bus, like, do shit. So I think you're not gonna find what you fucking love. Like, it's like food. I'm always fascinated by oysters. The amount of people that think they hate oysters, even though they've never had one, I see so many people living life that way. You don't know your passion because you haven't done shit, Billy. How much shit have you actually done yet? Not much, my man. If you're really passionate about the process, all of a sudden the results don't carry the weight. The fact that you're doing it carries the weight.
Yeah.
I think you've got the right mindset, brother. Keep going, holding your breath, bringing the most value possibly you can to your audience without asking for their money is the greatest leverage point. If you can subsidize through flipping on eBay and YouTube ads for the rest of your life and never have to ask them for something, amazing. Or if you ask them for something, it's something high value, like access, like a weekend with you, you know, shooting in the woods for a week, and it's an experience. It's $5,000 a head. You can almost go super premium once you build a brand. So that's how I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm not getting any money on ads. I'm still patient with that anyway.
It's early. It's early. You don't have enough views yet. I'm talking 3, 4.
I picked up a job.
My question to you is, how do I have a decent following in the wrestling community on Twitter only? How do I get it out there to more people?
More on Twitter or more just in the world?
In general, like, I don't know.
First you use your Twitter to start building up your other platforms. You have to get on TikTok and Instagram yesterday heavy.
TikTok too?
Right. I would argue that TikTok is your biggest opportunity. For people that don't have big audiences in the macro, the biggest opportunity is to be a first mover in an emerging platform. And TikTok is still emerging even at its enormous scale. Yeah, I mean, I think you should do 2 wrestling, just like you're right now, like talk about wrestling, like, which is not, and then just like learn TikTok. Go to TikTok today and spend an hour or 2 just consuming TikTok to get a feel for the room, and then start making the next day. 2 TikToks a day, and then use Twitter, because Twitter's amazing. You can tweet 30 times a day and get away with it. So use Twitter to build up your TikTok and your Instagram. I would probably put 4 to 5 tweets a day per platform. So that's 10 tweets a day. pushing to your Instagram and your TikTok so you can siphon some of your audience there, and then you just start building within those worlds. That's the way you migrate audience. That gives you a little spark by like using Twitter's the best platform to have most of your users because you can use it to push to the other places. Whereas on Instagram, you can't post 15 times a day. You can use stories, but you need to get very serious about those two platforms. It will work.
Twitter and TikTok.
On Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, using Twitter to build up there. On Twitter, are you jumping into random wrestling conversations and adding your 2 cents? Good.
Yeah.
You know how to break out? You know how to be different? By being different. Everybody else is trying to be like somebody else. I'm trying to be Gary fucking Vaynerchuk.
Got it.
I need you to go into Twitter, search the term underpaid, and jump into a conversation with every single person. Read what they wrote, and then say, yeah, girl, or like, hey, have you thought about this? Or this is something that's been. I want to remind everybody, Gary V, was built on Twitter by listening to people talking, by searching on Twitter. Do you know how to search terms on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yes. I want you to search underpaid. And I want you to jump into every conversation around people talking about underpaid for 2 hours today, and then get back to me and tell me what happened.
I tried that a little bit.
I don't give a shit.
I think I tried it once.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I tried selling a ton of shit once and twice and third, and it didn't work. I tried to invent a deal of the day site for my dad for a decade, and I finally figured it out with wine text. I don't give a shit.
That's crazy. That's
Jenna,
true.
listen to me. Listen to me. Life is good. You could do this. You're a creative woman. Like, let's go fucking do this. Just fucking 1 year, close your ear. Do me a favor. Do old Gary V a favor. For 1 year, just close your ears. Don't hear anything. All the negative feedback, all the pushback, all the bad sales results. Just make. I don't want to hear from any of you anymore. Like, I've been thinking about doing a podcast. Fucking do a podcast. I don't want to hear from anybody anymore saying, yeah, I heard you talking about TikTok. I've been debating it. Fuck debating. Fuck thinking. Fuck pondering. Fucking make. Go. Make.
Where that question comes from is, right now I'm studying music, and sometimes there's parts about it that I'm like,
Learn to love.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what helps learning to love? Patience.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to You've been one of the big.
Dude, everything's Old school was for me from 4th grade on. 8 years of fucking pain, punished 4 times a year. Right. It was all
Right.